Hi, everybody. This is Michaela Wardeman. For my STEM lesson or project, I decided to use the curriculum that we're using, which is Mystery Science, and go ahead and use the units that I teach. So down here under fifth grade, these are the 4 units that I teach, and I decided I wanted to make a STEM project to wrap up each unit that I have to just kind of have a culminating thing for the students to do, because I feel like we get to the end of the unit and we're just kind of done with it. We don't really do anything else with it or have a wrap up. I mean, there is a mini wrap up, but I wanted to do a bigger wrap up and make it STEM oriented for the students. So here are my 4 units that I'm going to be touching on, and I'm going to share with you the different projects that I came up with for each unit. The first one is our Web of Life unit. So for that one, I came up with a Create Your STEM challenge, and that goes right along with our Web of Life, our ecosystems, and the food web. I did find this resource off of Teachers Pay Teachers, but I really enjoyed it. I'll let you go ahead and read through the standards on your own when you look at it, just because I have 4 of them to go through and I don't want to waste my time here. So the standards that it hits on, as you can see, it hits on some science and engineering practices and then some disciplinary core ideas. For the lesson, they are designing and building a creature using the following criteria and constraints. The criteria: they must have a way to get energy, food. Their creature must have that. They have to have a protection from the climate, and they have to have protection from predators, and they have to have a way to move. Some of their constraints or limitations: they can only use the materials that I provide them. They have 45 minutes to work on this, and the creature can't ever have existed before, so they have to come up with it on their own. Some of the questions that they're going to be answering towards the end was their design successful? If they were to create another one, what would you change and why? What information might help you improve your design? What was your more and most effective creature design? Why do you think it was that the design that made it superior to the others? So they're doing a lot of comparison with their peers for this project. Looking at your own designs and those of your classmates, what patterns did you notice for what worked well and what did not? And if you could add a new material for a future design, what would it be? And then obviously their design, they're building their creature. Here's some of the resources. Pretty much anything and everything that you could have in your classroom could be used as a resource for them to build with. Teachers have the option to either have them work individually or in partners, and then there was just some different options, like if you had them work in a group, they could make kind of a little family, like a baby and an adult, a male, female, just to get some different dynamics of their creature. This lesson had so many parts with it, so many different extension activities or different things you could do. Some things involve food chains, food webs, animal classification. They could make a geologic time scale, Punnett squares, evolution, word problems. There was a lot that went along with it. So down here with my rubric, I was focusing on the constraints and the criteria. So did they have those things for their creature? And then I kind of left this part as a choice activity. They just needed to choose 2 extension activities and have them done well. And then a discussion with each student. What do they think constitutes a successful design? How would you personally judge success on this project? And just having that conversation with them, I thought was a good thing to grade on. Here's my Teachers Pay Teachers resource. Here's what some of the creatures look like that they had on the front cover of their resource. And then as we go down through here, there's lots of material lists, their constraints and their criteria that I'd pass out to them, and some forms they'd fill out comparing their designs. Why was their design successful? They'd have to draw their design. And then as you went through this document, it was a lot of the extra materials, so deciding which ones they could do and make that a choice for them. My second STEM one is the Water Princess, which I believe a couple people reviewed earlier in the semester. This works perfect for my second unit, which was the Watery Planet. Once again, I'll let you read those. There's an engineering design and then that literacy piece. Their objectives: we would read the Water Princess. Students would test each of the filter materials provided by setting the material on top of one of the plastic cups and pouring some of the muddy water over it. After each test, students will record the effectiveness of the filter material using the included recording sheet. Once all the tests are complete, students will choose the 3 most effective materials to build their water filter and have students run the same dirty water through all 3 materials to test the effectiveness of their filter. And at the end of the activity, have students reflect on their results. Some of the essential questions: how many people have access to clean water? What is the average distance women and young girls must walk each day in order to collect water? What is being done to help bring clean water to more people? And what materials do you think work best at filtering water, and why do you think that? So their design challenge is going to be building that filter. And then as we go through the needed materials, obviously the things they need for their filters. I would have students work in groups of 3 to 4 for the design, and that'll give them chances to discuss and communicate their plan with each other. They'd be able to delegate jobs for each group member that way. Then as we go down here, things I would be looking for is how well they worked with their group. Did an even amount of work with group members. They answered questions in their journal completely that is given to them with the science materials. Did they fill out their recording sheet they used? Their design, did they fill out their plan in the form? And then there's a web chart in there for writing their letter. At the end, they need to write a letter to the company and say why their filter is the best one to use. And I'll show you some of those materials here. So as we're working through here, here's their water filter journal that they'd have available to them. And it gives them information. Some of those essential questions are on here to help them answer as they read through that material. They're working to design their stuff. They'd list the materials and the observations they had as they use them. And then it really works them through that process of asking the question: imagine, plan, create, experiment, improve as they go. And then here is that web, or one of the webs. There's 2 options for the webs for the letter. Here's the other one. And then just writing a thought out letter to the company telling me why is your filter the best? Why should I use your filter? So I really liked that lesson as well. For my third one, it was about space. So my third unit is Spaceship Earth, and it's the Great Journey to Jupiter is my project. This one that I downloaded off of Teachers Pay Teachers actually had multiple resources in it. I'm just focusing on that first one, the 3-2-1 blast off, where they're designing a rocket. So once again, the standards, it focused on science and engineering practices, and then understanding about the nature of science. So the idea here is that on Earth, we need to come up with a new place to live. And because our Earth is not doing well, it's not going to sustain life. So you are one of the scientists on the team, and you're going to be traveling to Jupiter to hopefully establish a colony there. And we need to plan, design, and build a rocket that will propel itself upward. So yesterday the team arrived here at the International Space Station orbiting Earth. We didn't plan to stop, but our rocket's fuel system went bad. We will have to stay here and build a new rocket that can carry us all the way to Jupiter. After studying the atmosphere surrounding Jupiter and its moons, we know that the rocket must be much more powerful than the one that brought us here. It must be able to propel itself forward at 20,000 miles per hour. At that speed, we can reach Jupiter within a year. I only hope that it will be in time to save our fellow humans back on Earth. So their essential question piece, they're going to be talking about the problem and what they want to happen. The length of their rocket's nose, they're going to be measuring things. The angle of your rocket's trajectory, did their rocket even launch? And then how far did it travel? And what worked about your rocket? And what could they improve about their design? Their design challenge, there was a nice technology component with NASA's website, Rocket Building 101. It was also an app on the iPad, I believe, as well. They need to design their rocket before they actually just start building it. There was some requirements they needed to do. They had to be at least 12 inches long, not counting the balloon piece. It must use air propulsion, and they had to use at least 1 straw, 1 balloon, and it has to get off the ground. They had 45 minutes to build. They could test them out. Their resources and materials. Everyone had a job in each group. The packet did a really good job of giving everyone a job. And then down here at the bottom was my rubric for deciding how well they did. Did they design their rocket well? How well did they plan and work cooperatively with a group? Was their rocket finished? Did it have all the requirements? And how did their testing go? Did it move? Did it get off the ground? And then how far did it go as well? And all of that added together would give them their final score. And their Journey to Jupiter one, the packet is here. As we worked through this one, had their different pieces. Once again, it was working them through that STEM design process of ask, imagine, plan, create, test, and improve. Gave them background information, and then gave them the requirements they needed for their rocket. And once again, I'm just focusing on that first one. Gave them the materials they needed, more information, and then here we got into their planning process, drawing, labeling things, and so forth for that one. The last one I have for you is Ada Twist, who's a scientist. My unit was chemical magic, so we were focusing on the engineering, design, and literacy, similar to the Water Princess one. So we'd read the story, add a twist, and then review with students about the chemical reactions. They'll have to make a prediction about the experiment we're going to do, which involves yeast, whether or not if we increase the yeast, will we have a bigger reaction, or if we decrease it, will it do to the reaction? And they're going to record their observations, and they'll get to complete the experiment a couple times to see the different types of reactions that they'd get with the yeast. And then they're going to have to write a letter to Ada Twist's teacher about their findings and give her advice on the ingredients she should use for her experiment. They call this the elephant toothpaste experiment, so if you've done that before. Essential questions would be making their prediction, which ingredients created the bigger explosion, and then at the end, was their prediction correct? What kind of change was it? Was it physical or chemical? And then what we need for the challenge to design or to make their elephant toothpaste, materials they need. And then down here in the grading portion, the assessment piece, similar to my Water Princess one, how well did they work with their group? Did they do an even amount of work? Did they make a complete hypothesis or a prediction? They filled out their experiment sheet, completed the journal, and then they wrote a thought out letter to the teacher. Like I said, it's very similar to the Water Princess resource. So here's what the elephant toothpaste looks like when it would come out. So fun. And then they'd have that journal piece again, so they can record their things as we go and keep track of their hypothesis and what worked, what didn't, how much of the things we need to measure out, and then their conclusion piece along with their letter to the teacher. So those are my 4 little mini projects for each one of my units. Thanks for listening.